You just downloaded the show that was nominated Best Entertainment Podcast of 2013, only to be beaten by The Walking Dead. That's where Tony's at, Spy Shack. That's where Tony's at. Tony is a sneaking, Tony is a listening, wearing extra...
Hey everybody, this is Survivor Talk with D&D. I'm Dwayne.
And I'm David.
And we're just two best friends talking about the show we love, Survivor. David, you can't see me right now, can you?
No, I can't, and I'm wondering what you got in your mouth.
Well, here we go. I'm the invisible Dwayne. For those of you listening, I have the Survivor Solarion buff all the way up to my eyes and a Jeremiah hat all the way down, so all you can see are the browns of my eyes.
Actually, right now we can't see anything but your image.
Why? I have it
clicked on and clicked off. No, it's all I'm seeing is maybe it's just me then.
It must just be you, because everybody out there in YouTube land can see me. I'm going to take off the hat. Oh, my hair looks amazing. Pull down the Survivor buff, which you can get at buffinc.com. Follow our link on our website. Woo! This is our listener feedback show for episode 8, Bag of Tricks. A good episode, if I must say so myself. And we have some good feedback tonight, David. For the first time in forever, in the history of Survivor Talk, 157 episodes, David.
Mm-hmm.
We have more audio feedback than we do written-in feedback.
Really?
That's right. Isn't that amazing?
It's pretty awesome.
Yep.
I have to view you in the bottom portion. When I click on myself, I can see you down here, but I can't see you up top. And of course, I'm using a different laptop than I usually use.
Yeah, that's probably the problem. So, David, how about, man, it's like everybody wrote for our blog in one 2-hour segment, because Shayna's blog went up, Katya's blog went up, Colton's blog, if you can call it a blog, his 50 words went up, and your Survivor by the Slice went up, which was absolutely great. I loved it. Some of your captions on your pictures were just wonderful.
For the first time this season, I had too many pictures.
Yeah,
I had about
great.
30 pictures, and I had to cut it down. But like you talk about Colton's, like Andy said, he said in 200 words what it took 4,000 for Andy to say.
Yeah, well,
So,
Andy said that, yeah.
Yeah, Andy said that.
I wouldn't have said that, but since Andy said it, I'm going to take this off. It's awfully hot in here.
Why I can't see you?
I don't know why you can't see me. It's a horrible thing though for you.
It is.
People all over the world are watching me right now.
Going in that.
Good too.
It's definitely this laptop.
All right. So anyway, they don't care about your laptop problems.
No.
So you wrote Survivor by the Slice. We have lots of stuff on the website. Of course, there's the new parody that I released 2 days early, Fugue for LJ, Tony, and Jeremiah.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the audio podcast tonight, I am going to play what I call the Fugue Exposed.
What's that?
All right? What I've done is I've taken the Fugue for LJ, Tony, and Jeremiah, and I play it 4 times in a row. The first time you hear all of LJ's lyrics.
Because one time is just not enough.
Yeah. The first time you hear all of LJ's lyrics. The second time you start off hearing LJ, and then he goes very low, and you hear all of Tony's lyrics. And the third time, the first 2 go low, and you hear all of Jeremiah's lyrics, and then I play the song as it was originally recorded. So for those of you who were having trouble differentiating what each person's saying, you'll be able to hear it at the end of the audio podcast. Also, I'll put it on our website.
Yeah.
I also have the lyrics here if you want me to sing it, David, later on.
It's okay. We can follow along.
All right.
Well, though, you should put the lyrics either on our website or on Facebook.
Yeah.
So people can actually read it.
That's true. The song is definitely worth listening to with headphones on. It really helps.
Yeah.
So, hey, shout out to Shayna. Not only is she our prospect, not only does she do all of our Survivor, what are we playing together?
The Fantasy Challenge?
Yes, thank you. Survivor Fantasy Challenge points and everything like that. She already donates through PayPal, but she became our first patron on Patreon. And so, way to go, Shayna. You are the bomb.
So from now on, we're going to have a segment called Shout Out to Shayna.
Yeah.
Every feedback episode because she deserves it.
Shout out to Shayna.
That's what happened to our first contributor.
We treat her wonderfully, and if we don't, she better tell us so we can remedy that.
Well, she disappears for a while, I think, if we don't treat her well.
That's right. Also, thank you to Deb DeVore, who started a monthly PayPal contribution, and Weed Bay Guy. Yes, you heard his name correctly. Weed Bay Guy, who's now a millionaire in Colorado.
Actually, I thought he was in San Francisco.
For his PayPal donation. No, he's in Colorado.
Okay.
And doing quite
well. I wonder
well.
why. Why would he be in Colorado?
All of a sudden, his business has boomed. Of course, the easiest way to support us is just to shop like you normally would on Amazon. And when you use our link to do that, you support the podcast. All three of these ways can be found at survivortalkwithdnd.com/support. That's support. All right, David, are you ready for listener feedback, or do you have something else you want to talk about before we do that?
Nope. Let's get rolling.
I got a little shooting the breeze for before we go off the air tonight, if you don't mind.
I am looking forward to next Sunday's return, I hope, of the Baker's 15.
Yes, it will be nice to have Andy Baker back.
Yes.
And maybe if he comes back on the show, he'll mention us in his blog.
You noticing a similarity there?
Yeah.
A running theme.
Yeah. Anyway. So, did you hear what I said about shooting the breeze?
I sure did.
All right. Well, good. Well, since you heard what I said about shooting the breeze.
And I haven't had dinner yet, so just fair warning. It could be a very short breeze, but understood.
Oh, well, I mean, we don't have to shoot the breeze if you don't want to. It has to
depend on the topic.
Has to do with soccer.
Oh, okay. I'll stay.
All right. There you go. First, we have Vicky from New Jersey. I'm not sure, but it might be her first. It's her first audio for sure. Vicky from Jersey.
Hi, everybody. Happy Easter. Happy Passover. Happy birthday, Dwaine. Hope everybody had great holidays. Anyway, this is Vicky from New Jersey, and I just want to say it's a sad, sad week. Well, it snowed one more time in New Jersey. The taxes were due, and LJ went home. Ah. Well, my thoughts are that I'm thinking Tony's playing too hard. I don't know. He's a lot of fun to watch, but I think he's burning bridges. People aren't going to be able to trust him, and I don't know if he's going to get some votes at the end if he keeps jumping around. I know Trish was mad, and anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. I think Spencer's doing a good job. At the reward, he was the only one that was thinking level-headed when Tony was trying to convince them to go his way. And I also think that LJ should have talked to Tasha. And at least, I couldn't believe he trusted Tony. No. And it was ironic that the challenge came down to LJ and Tasha for immunity. And, of course, that was funny when Tasha was sitting in the tent, kind of right next to him, grinning, looking the other way. That was good. I don't know why Tony's so paranoid about thinking LJ wants to get him. Because, they're all solid with him. At least that's what they're showing us. And why didn't Wu talk to LJ if he was so close? He said he was his closest ally. But yet he trusted Tony instead of talking to LJ. I don't know. Even Spencer believed Tony's lies. And that Wu was plotting against him. So bravo to Tony. But I just worry about him burning bridges. Anyway... well, jumping ahead to Tribal, Spencer was funny, making all kinds of faces as everybody was talking. He could give Bryce a run for his money. And I love the quote that Trish was talking about that's what makes Survivor so fun, and that's what makes your stomach hurt at the same time. That was a great quote. I loved it. And Spencer, he looked very confident when he didn't play his idol. He didn't look worried at all. So I think Tony had him convinced. It was sad to see LJ go. It really was. He was my guy, so now I have to rethink things. But Trish was really mad, and Sarah and Morgan were loving it. But I think Sarah's going to tell everyone that comes to Ponderosa about Tony being lying. And I don't know. I think it's going to hurt him in the votes. Well, that's all from me. Loving the show. Talk to you next week. Good night.
Thank you, Vicky.
Oh, yeah. Just one more thought. I'm loving the songs that you're putting out. They're a lot of fun. And I was at work, and I was humming to myself, and I didn't even realize it till I started singing Chaos Cash. It was pretty funny. I just had to stop and laugh when I realized what I was humming. Anyway, thanks for the fun.
And then she got fired for singing Miley Cyrus.
That's right.
No, I'm singing about Survivor.
I really do hope that we get to, you've influenced a workplace in New Jersey.
Yes.
I really hope we get to see Tony at Final Tribal Council. After all we've seen this season, if we don't get to see him put on the show he wants to put on at Final Tribal Council to win, I'm going to feel gypped. Because he's got to tell his story. He's got to make him understand why he did everything he did, and I think he could actually get votes for it.
Yeah.
But I also love how whenever Vicky paused, it went back to LJ.
Yes.
Poor LJ's gone.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad the rest of the feedback tonight is all from guys, because all these women are so like, oh, LJ's gone. It's not even worth living anymore.
Speaking of women who are distraught over LJ.
No, we don't need to go there.
Come on. I told her I'd share it. This is Wendy's feedback from South
go
Dakota.
ahead.
And she wrote Dwaine and I in a chat window that we have open. She said, too distraught to send in feedback. Someone send tissues.
Wah, wah, wah.
This is my feedback. Feel free to read it into the show tonight. I'll probably be over it by next week.
No, she won't.
I wanted to play some music in the background, but I didn't get home in time to set it up. But that was Wendy's feedback, that she's too distraught to send in feedback.
Yes. Oh, David, I need you to do me two favors, buddy.
Uh-oh.
I need you to make sure you're using your Yeti microphone and not your laptop microphone. Sounds a little odd tonight. And then also your overlay's gone. Hey, if you look back here where my finger's pointing, you will see Zell Farms, speaking of Wendy. She sent me a sticker for my Survivor backdrop, and it says Zell Farms. Now, here's the thing. See, right here, and I know some of you are audio, so I'm going to explain it. I have a blue microphone sticker on my wall. I have a big Survivor blanket hanging on my wall, and I have a Goda buff hanging from it. And on my Survivor blanket, I have a blue microphone sticker to advertise blue. I use a blue Spark microphone, XLR microphone. And then I have an Alien Ears bumper sticker because I have Alien in-ear monitors that I use at work, and so I bring them at home to use here too. And then now I have a Zell Farms. The thing is, I don't use anything from Zell Farms on the show, so I'm thinking she should, maybe send me a cow or something.
Tire or something.
Yeah, that I can use on the show, maybe a John Deere tractor, something like that. So anyway, that's my background with my Zell Farms. Thank you, Wendy, for sending that to me.
It's getting very populated back there.
Yes. Oh, you sound so much better, David.
Thank you, Dwayne.
Wow. You sounded like you were talking in a tin can before.
I'm surprised it took you that long.
Well, it didn't.
Start texting me.
Well, I can't because I use my phone for
okay.
For having all these audio.
That's what happens when you get home 5 minutes before you're supposed to get on. Yeah. You got to get somebody off the Mac, and then you got to set up the laptop, which you don't normally use.
Yeah. Remember the olden days when we did all this over Skype and we would like stop and go, David, you need to fix your microphone. Now we got to start all over. Remember all that?
Yeah, but a lot of that I did on purpose.
Yeah. All right, next we have Mike from Canada. Go ahead, David.
Hi, guys. Since this season has been so much about Tony, why not this feedback? I agree with David. Now, he is, just to preface this, he's agreeing with the recap, David.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I agree with David. The Tony move to cut down LJ early was not a smart one.
Did you hear that, Tony? David thinks you made a stupid move.
In fact, barring a Woo Medevac next week or Tony finding something, he's done. Even in this bizarro world season where everything plays against type, the good ship Survivor Cagayan will right itself long enough to quickly dispatch Tony. Look for Trish to reach out beyond her alliance to all, except Wu, and get everyone to split their votes between Wu and Tony. That way he departs this week or next week, and the rest can just comfortably sit back and enjoy what unfolds. You know, I would kind of buy that, Mike, except you used the word comfortably with Survivor. And that is a curse, to use the word comfortably.
So that means Mike is going home this week.
That's right.
Mike, sorry, you shouldn't have written in how you're going home this week.
Continuing, Dwaine, as both you and David have commented, Tony is no doubt coming back to Survivor.
Absolutely.
Still, because of his Russell Hantz-like intensity, I suspect sameness of game, you have to play him back-to-back, like Russell. So because of the way he plays, the only way he'd really benefit is to play back-to-back seasons so nobody in the next season would know how he plays.
That would benefit him.
Yes, like it did Russell. Remember how well Russell did third time out when, for the first time, all new prospective survivors viewed his gameplay. I think he's being a little sarcastic there. One last comment. Tony and... Now, this is a nice, short, brief, to-the-point feedback. Just got to say, well done, Mike. One last comment. Tony and Russell do differ in one respect. Russell was all about the prize, while Tony appears to be all about the camera. Thanks for listening, Mike from Canada. Now, I got to say, I don't quite agree with that.
I don't think Tony's all about the camera. I think Tony's all about the game.
I think Tony's good for the camera, but the problem is there's not enough other castaways that are good for the camera, and that's why Tony's getting a lot of camera.
Yeah.
But, and I mean, the guy, everything he says is kind of funny in a sense, but at the same time, he's giving a lot of strategy. So, I mean, that's what we want to hear. This season has been good, like Vicky said, good for one-liners, good for comments from newbies. We finally got a really interesting newbie season with a bunch of people that are trying to play the game. So right. I think he's just good for the camera, whereas LJ was like, sure, I'll talk to you. What do you want to talk about? I'm good.
So what do you think about what do you think about Mike saying that the good ship Survivor Cagayan will ride itself long enough to quickly dispatch Tony? Do you think Tony's going home this week? Do you think this is the week?
No, because I think some of the castaways feel the longer he stays, the less votes he could get because of all the moves that he's making.
Really? You think that?
I think they're thinking that because everybody. The problem with this week, and like I said on Facebook, I understood why he did the move against LJ. I completely got it. I kind of understood why, but at the same time, he's only been telling his moves to certain people at certain times. Right. And going to the spa, he told these guys what he was thinking. Now everybody has seen it. Everybody left knows what he did. The people that worked with him, the people that he kind of blindsided. They all know what he did, except for Wu. Wu thinks he actually protected Wu by getting rid of LJ. But everybody else knows that Tony turned on somebody that was supposed to be a close ally. So now Tony's, I think, going to be kind of in the wind.
Tony's got wind. Is that what you're saying?
He could have wind. I mean, he said he almost pooped on himself in Tribal Council. But anyway.
We saw the proof.
It was a wet seat. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
But I don't know. I think as good as the season has been, this could be the best episode coming out because we have so many different factions. You know, Cass is not with anybody as far as I'm concerned. She's with Trish and Jeffer to a point, but she can still be Cass. And then you got the other three, and then you got Trish and Jeffer, and then you got Tony and Wu. This could really be probably one of the better episodes coming up, depending on how it goes. You know, I'm really looking forward to it.
And we're bringing back the
Spy Shack, Tony Spy Shack. Maybe that's where it's at. Spy Shack, Tony Spy Shack, Tony Spy Shack.
So, okay, David, this would be a great time for you to explain to our listeners and watchers who do not get on Facebook, who are not a part of our Facebook group, who have not seen you completely went 180 from our recap episode. If you recall, listeners, in our recap episode, David completely said that Tony made a major mistake, right? And then that night, David went to sleep, rolled over in his bed, got up, and had a completely different idea. So, David, why don't you tell everybody, for the sake of those that are not on our Facebook group?
Well, at the recap, I was totally against the move. I went to bed, rolled over, and woke up and had a completely different.
Yeah, but we want to know what the completely different view was.
What I went to bed thinking about, because I was still on my 5-hour energy, and I went to bed thinking about why in the world did he make this move at this time against somebody that was almost kind of in his back pocket, trusting him. You know, I don't think anybody believed LJ was going to take Tony to the final, like what LJ was saying. But at the same time, you know, there was no reason to doubt LJ at this point. But I think going to their spa is what set Tony's plan in motion, and that, you know, this is the time. I think he's a destiny person. I think he feels like if the move comes up in my face, I'm going to make it. And I think meeting with Jeremiah and Spencer, I think he realized this is probably the only time I'm going to do it. If I'm going to get these guys' trust and maybe get their vote down the road, I got to use them at some point, work with them at some point.
So you think you think he changed his mind at the spa?
No, I think he already had the intention of I think Tony's had plan A, and he's always had plan A.2, which was get rid of LJ. He never planned to take LJ to the end. That plan was, come on, work with me. That plan was always there, and he was waiting for the moment to make it happen. And he got his afternoon with Spencer and Jeremiah, and it just came up. Now, what I thought about today as I was driving, which is not dangerous because I can think and drive, is I wonder if Tony made a deal with Spencer and Jeremiah and said, hey, you guys help me with LJ this week. Of course, we're saying week by episode. You help me with LJ this tribal council, and you can stay another 3 days, but we go after Tasha next tribal council.
No, because Tasha's my pick to win.
Now, that's not why I said it, but knowing how much we don't know, which is like, 23 out of the 24 hours each day.
Right.
I wonder if a deal was made. Tony's not going to just walk up and hand them a gift and say, I'm giving you 3 more days because I want my buddy gone. I just think there was more to that, and I wouldn't be surprised if your pick has to be changed next week, because if she doesn't win, why not get rid of the sweetheart of the shelter, man? She's the nicest person out there from what we see. She's got a lot of votes.
You should get rid of Jeremiah. That's why. Because he's a guy, and he's a threat.
Let me tell you, start working on your parody for Tasha.
What in the world parody could I use? I can't even begin to think of one.
You have to rewrite Spy Shack. No, I don't think Tasha's going home this week, but I just think I wouldn't be surprised if that deal was made. Maybe we'll find out at the end of the season when we talk to Tony. But, there's got to be a barter in there somewhere. Tony's not going to give up his closest person just to keep these guys around.
Well, but, okay. I just think Tony saw an opportunity to get rid of a huge threat whom he said himself was identical to him, although he doesn't act like Tony. I think he means brain-wise in the way he's playing the game. And he took it, and
that's what I just said.
Did it. Well, you said his closest person, and is that what you meant by closest person, like closest the way he acts?
Yeah,
I thought you meant like closest friend or closest ally.
I think Wu and Trish are closer to him than LJ, but I think when he looked in the mirror, the Survivor mirror, he spoke about strategy, I think LJ got every level of strategy he was talking about. And LJ was a person he could bounce ideas off of, and that's what scared him. That's not the guy you want to keep on the island. You want people like Wu and other people that will do what you tell them to do and believe what you tell them you're going to believe.
Right.
So.
All right, so that's how David changed his mind. There you go. All right, next we have from the Philippines, Enrico.
Hi, Dwaine and David. This is Enrico from the Philippines. I'm calling in for my feedback for this past episode, and I'd like to just point out 2 things. First, it's about Tony and his alliance of comfort. I think we saw a lot of his ideas coming to fruition, coming from that line of thinking, the alliance of comfort versus the alliance of numbers. And we saw that during New Solana, the Bronze had the numbers, but yet he and Trish went to LJ and Jeffra instead to blindside Cliff. Now, at the merge, again, he pointed out the alliance of comfort to Cass through Trish. and they were able to vote Sarah out despite losing their two hidden immunity idols. Now again, he flipped, and probably because LJ doesn't make him comfortable, so again he discarded his original numbers and went to the remaining brains instead. So I think Tony's gameplay is a little strange, but it's exciting to watch, and it's hard to reconcile when you're playing with a person like Tony. Like, would you be able to compromise your own game just to make him feel a little comfortable with your alliance with him, or do you just, you know, stay out of his radar and try to strike when he least expects it? But I'm not sure if that could be done because he's always running around and thinking about stuff. So his alliance of comfort definitely reminds me of Russell in Heroes versus Villains when he flipped and voted out Daniel at the final seven. But if you look at that scenario, Russell eventually went back to Parvati, Sandra, and Jerry, his original alliance. Now, I'm not sure if uh, Tony will be able to go back to Trish, Jeffra, Cass at this point. But who knows really what's gonna happen in this very unpredictable season. And then my second point is again coming from what just happened. From the first episode, we saw a lot of unconventional moves this season, which makes it really, really great to watch. So we started with the leader of the Brains tribe, David, selecting Garrett, which is a big question mark for me as the weakest of the tribe, and that eventually led to his demise. On the second episode, we had someone openly talk about the vote, and guess who got the vote? On the third one, we have Bryce, who is said to be socially adept, but again, they took out the butterfly, so to speak. And then we have on the next vote, they were made to choose between loyalty and strength in challenges. And in the new era of Survivor, normally you'd go over loyalty, but instead Cass and Spencer, Cass and Tasha went ahead and kept Spencer. And then we have the Cliff and Lindsay thing, and what else? Say Alexis, which is in stark contrast to what Lindsay did, and also just recently the Sarah blindside. Then we have Morgan, who's supposed to be a good goat to take to the end, but they got rid of the goat. And now we have LJ, whose strategy is really not that bad. He's been patiently waiting, biding his time to strike, but then he figured, it's really too late when you're playing with Tony. So it's really, really exciting to watch how this group of newbies play the game and not take after whatever or whoever returning player tells them what to do. So, well, that's it basically for me. I hope you guys are also enjoying the season as I am, and we talk to you guys later. Bye.
It's an okay season, But by the way, Enrico, I much prefer your audio submissions over us reading your stuff because he made 2 points and he made 2 really good points. I like the comments about comfort versus numbers because each time after each vote, Tony you would think would be a little more relaxed, and he can't get relaxed when somebody like LJ is around. Right. Somebody that's smart that Tony thinks is just as smart as him. And at the same point, he makes a good point about back to what Mike said about playing back to back. Who's going to trust Tony if he doesn't play the next immediate season? Tony is voting out anybody and everybody that he doesn't want left on the island. He's not gonna be able to make an alliance if he tries to play again. I wouldn't think if people have seen how he plays.
Well, let me ask you this: if Tony is playing the next season, they'll start filming that in about a month or so, won't they? They'll start filming it in May.
No, this was last summer. So I see what you mean. But that would be like a May, June filming, and then a July, August filming for the second one.
Right. So he would leave. So if we stop hearing from Tony around mid-May, then
he's got to be in the finale.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, but
they would start filming after the finale.
But whoever's playing in this next season that's getting ready to be filmed, they're watching the season right now.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah,
so
they
wouldn't help him.
It would have been the same summer he would have had to play like Matt did and Russell did.
Sorry, Tony. You play again, everybody's going to know you.
That's right.
You're going to be, I'm a construction worker with a badge.
I like Enrico's comment. His gameplay is strange but exciting. It makes for good TV. But at the same time, go ahead.
My name is Enrico. I don't do a very good in
No, not a Philippine. No. But I don't know if at the same point you call it strange because it's a little unorthodox. But at the same time, we've seen it before. It's just one person doing a lot of stuff that multiple people usually do.
Yeah.
So.
And he's doing it with more adrenaline in his body than the average banshee.
And exactly, and that's the reason why he's not going to come out of this tribal council any more comfortable than he would any other time.
I know.
We can see next time on he's going to come out with this spy check on Jeffra.
That's right.
Spy check, Tony spy check.
So one thing I would like to say about Enrico's feedback is Enrico apparently owns a bird sanctuary. And saves birds from the evil clutches of the tigers. Good feedback, Enrico. Thank you very much for sending that in. Next, we have Will the Giant Ninja, who borrowed 3 minutes and 38 seconds from Sindri. This is what he said on Facebook when I said, what the heck, typical lawyer, 5-minute feedback length, and he goes 8 minutes and 38 seconds. And then he goes, I borrowed from Sindri.
Sindri yielded the floor.
Yes. I am going to make his so that if we want to stop in the middle of it and take a break or something.
Take a little bathroom break.
All right, here we go. Will the Giant Ninja.
What's up, guys? It's Will from Wonder Lake again, a.k.a. the Giant Ninja.
A.k.a. the Giant Ninja. The reason why I paused right now was to see if I could start it back up again at the exact same spot.
Okay.
What's up, guys? It's Will from Wonder
Apparently
Lake again,
not.
a.k.a. the Giant Ninja. We're down to 8, and it's anybody's guess as to who goes home next. Could be one of the brains, could be Jeremiah, could be Tony, could be Jeffra. The only people I see as relatively safe are the Tiny Ninja and Trish. This has the makings of a great episode, so I thought I'd revisit my power rankings with a path to the end game for each player. Number 8, Jeffra. I really love watching Jeffra play the game, especially at Tribal Council, but I don't get to watch her enough. She hasn't made any moves that were hers, and the editors are showing us nothing. Whether that's because she's doing nothing or because she's irrelevant to the game doesn't really matter. The fact that we're not seeing her play the game means that she's not winning the game. How can she get to the end? Any number of ways. Everyone in the game should be looking to bring Jeffra into their alliance, and she's a great person to be sitting at the end with, as long as folks don't hate you. Natalie White, anyone? Number 7.
Okay, is it just me, or do you feel like you should be buying something from this guy?
Either that or he's related to Lou. He's got some. I like it. I love it because he's actually helping me make my next pick.
There you go. All right, here we go. Continuing.
7, Jeremiah. Jeremiah is to Spencer as Jeffra is to LJ. The only difference is that Jeremiah's alpha partner is still in the game. Jeremiah has 2 paths to the end. He either needs to stick with Spencer and Tasha, which is what I think he'll do, and trust that the other alliance really has fractured, or he can try to bring a coalition together with himself, Jeffra, Cass, and somebody else. Woo, Trish, I don't know, and ride that to the end. If he's sitting there with Jeffra and Cass, he might just win this thing, a la Fabio. Number 6, the Woo. The Tiny Ninja is in a very intriguing position. He just helped vote out LJ, possibly destroying his alliance in the process. But he can honestly claim that he was being reactive. that LJ was targeting him. It doesn't really matter that LJ wasn't targeting Wu. Wu thinks he was, and so Wu doesn't even need to lie to make the case. Wu needs to hope that Tony calms down and that his remaining alliance stays together. If so, there are numerous possibilities for him to be in the top 3, including the natural Trish-Tony-Wu scenario. Number 5, Cass. I love me some Cass. Cass is playing for Cass and Cass alone, which I love. That's how Survivor should be played. Cassie is maybe the one person out there that won't care about which side she's on, as long as she's there in the end. And the best thing that Cass has going for her right now is that she's an unlikely target. We're getting to the point where Cass is being seen as a GOAT and might avoid votes for that very reason. But she'll be a GOAT that can honestly say that she changed the game. Her best bet right now is to change it again. She needs one person to flip with her over to the Spencer Tasha side to control the game. Or if her alliance continues to fracture and all the Brainiacs survive the next episode, she can flip on her own for a 4-3 majority. Once she does, both Spencer and Tasha will be all too happy to take Cass to the end instead of the other. She just needs to pick her path and go with it. At this point, I think a Tasha Jeremiah Cass finale is actually possible.
I agree with him. I really want to see Cass do some more great moves.
I don't think she's done, because he's right, because nobody's really singling her out right now. She's kind of she was hardly in this episode.
Yeah. Except to say, oh, this is a bad time to make a big move. You can't make him too early.
Who'd make a move now? This would be stupid.
Yeah. All right, he continues.
Number 4, Trish. I don't know what to make of Trish, except that she seems to be in the middle of everything, which bodes well for her. But without LJ, I don't know that she can keep Jeffra loyal, even if she can manage Cass. Trish needs Wu and Tony to come back into the fold, and she needs to calm everybody down. Her alliance still has the numbers if everyone stays loyal, and that's her best bet to the end. If she manages to keep everyone in line, she'll be in just about every possible Final 3. And she'll have a very good case to make to be named the sole survivor. After all, she'll be the engineer of the LJ-Tony alliance. She'll be the person that convinced Cass to flip, and she'll be the one that kept it all together despite Tony's shenanigans.
All right. That would be a disappointing win to me. If
For Trish to win.
I just, and based on what I've heard, like Steve Helling, right, based on what he's done in, like, People Magazine and everything, everybody is like, what, Trish is playing a game? We didn't see that out there on the island. You know?
Their nice comments are coming after they're watching this
Exactly. Season. So why would they have voted for her? And I don't know. Just maybe it's.
See, this is why she's number 1 in my power rankings this week, but possibly only for this week, because to me she controls the next vote in that if she can get Jeffra to stay on board and bring Tony and Wu back in, if they believe Tony's story, they still have the numbers. They can still pick off the other 3.
Right.
So if she doesn't, then if she doesn't flip first, then Cass will, or Tony and Wu will, and then she's in trouble.
Yeah.
But I think she's the one, because she's got Jeffra talking to her at the well about Tony, and if Tony hears this, I really hope instead of going after Jeffra, he comes up with some plan to try to win her favor back, as in telling Trish and within earshot of Jeffra, I hated to do it. I love the guy, but I just couldn't trust him. He was going to take out Wu. Try to spin something and let Jeffra hear it and try to get faith back in Tony again, because she obviously doesn't want anything to do with him. She doesn't trust him anymore.
Right. I guess it's not fair for me to say that she'd be a disappointing win. I just want Tasha to win.
I think she'd be a level playing field winner. I guess not really an under-the-radar win, just somebody that's played a calm game. Just had her peaks and valleys, but at the same time she just kind of let things happen and just moved around it when it did.
Yeah, but as Will said, she would also be able to claim certain things.
Right.
I did this. I didn't leave Tony at the well. All right, let's continue.
3, Tasha. # stood up is well-loved by everyone in this game. She's a great challenge competitor, she's smart, and she's probably playing the best social game of anyone on the island, which means that she won't win, because nobody will be willing to go to the end with her. I suspect that the next time she doesn't win immunity will be the last episode for her. Tasha's path to the end is interesting. She needs to flip on Spencer, either now or later. If she doesn't now, it'll be to create a new coalition of also-rans. Jeremiah will go with Spencer, but Tasha can pick up floaters like Jeffrey and Cass and hope that Trish and Wu turn on Tony. However, if she does that, she'll be the first boot once her new coalition is all that's left. The better path for Tasha is to keep the target on either Tony or Jeffrey, whoever the other alliance turns on, and to stick with her voting block of Spencer and Jeremiah. Next week at 7, she can look to pick up one more vote. Cass, Trish, depends how this week's vote goes. If we're looking at a final 7 alliance of Tasha, Spencer, Jeremiah, Cass, Tasha will need to stick with Cass and convince Jeremiah to turn on Spencer, and hope he's already played his idol. Number 2, Tony. The creator of the Spy Shack is in a tough spot right now. If he makes it to the end, I think he beats anybody out there. The question is whether he can make it to the end. As fiendish as Tony has been, he's having fun out there, and the other players all like him, even if they also kind of hate him. I'm sure that many, if not most of you, hate his move to get rid of LJ. I couldn't disagree more. It was brilliant. It's tough to make a move like that at 8, and 7 would have been too late. Plus, you never know when LJ would have won immunity and thwarted the effort. LJ would have taken out Tony. Not might have, would have. Of that, I'm pretty sure. We already saw LJ take note of Tony playing the game hard and being fairly untrustworthy. If they'd taken out Spencer or Jeremiah this week, and the other one or Tasha next, we'd be left with a final 7 of the Alliance of 6 plus 1. At that spot, LJ knows that he's on the outs. Wu, Trish, Tony aren't taking him to the finals. So 7 is LJ's time to make a move. He and Jeffrey get together with the leftover brain and Cass, who everyone knows is willing to flip, and they take out Tony. Tony would have been voted out at 7 if he didn't vote out LJ at 9. He struck first, and kudos to him for it. Will he win because of it? Who knows? But he made the right move, and it was awesome watching him try and get LJ to talk about voting Wu out just so he could tell everyone else that LJ was a snake. Tony plays Survivor the way Survivor needs to be played, and I hope he wins the game. He deserves it, no question. If the other players are smart, though, they'll take him out. Spencer and Tosh, for different reasons, are the only players that have a chance against him. Tony's path to the end is to stick with Wu, and Trish too if she'll have him. At this point, 4 votes is huge. Tony needs to go back to his alliance and repair the damage. If it can't be done, then he needs to vote out Jeffrey and keep his 4 strong after that. If he's at the end with any iteration of Wu, Trish, Cass, or Jeffrey, he wins the million. Number 1, Spencer. Spencer has managed to hold on to his idol for 2 votes now, which is huge. He needed that. Whoa! The best thing that Spencer can do right now is to jump on the other alliance.
Did he just go, whoa?
What was that?
All right, Will. Hey, is it just me, and I'm sorry for doing this to you, Will, the giant ninja, who could kill me.
Hey, when you send in an 8-minute feedback, you're going to get interrupted every now and then.
But what I want you to do, Will, is I want you to email the paper from which you are reading to me, not David, just me, so I can study it and get some good strategy going. All right? Just remember, David's not around. He doesn't check email. Dwaine at SurvivorTalkWithDND.com, because I want to read all this again. All right, he's talking about Spencer. Here we go.
He needs to convince Tony and Wu to vote with him, Jeremiah, and Tasha. If he can do that, Spencer has a decent shot at the end, because he can continue to hold on to his hidden immunity idol until his alliance turns on him as the biggest threat. Personally, I don't see that happening, because I don't see it as in anybody else's best interests. His best shot is to go with my Cassie. If all 3 Brainiacs survive another round, maybe with the help of Spencer's idol, then he and Cass have the numbers advantage that can get him to the end. But in that scenario, he'll have to win the final immunity challenge, maybe even the final 2. And if he does that, you can crown him. Of course, I didn't mention the easiest path that any of these 8 have, finding Medea's idol, because I'm still kind of pretending that it doesn't really exist. Well, that's enough for now. Talk to you next week after we see the return of the Spy Shack. Later, peeps. Will at the Giant Ninja.
That was
All right, I
real
don't know
good.
if it's because we interrupted it or what, but that did not feel like an 8-minute feedback.
It was a combination of things. It was
I
good
know.
feedback. I mean, if I was a jury, I wouldn't mind him talking to me in the jury box for a
I
while.
wrote down everything he said, by the way, so I have it already.
You did not.
I agree though. Tasha is to me has the hardest road to the final because nobody's going to want to take the nicest person out there. I think she's the one that's really going to have to do a lot of work. She's going to have to win challenges.
Well,
I think
she
she's
can.
soon to be gone. Yes, she can. And also
Hey, let me say something about that
Yeah.
real quick. Did you notice somewhere on Facebook, I don't remember where it was, they were talking about why you don't have to be worried about the guys so much once the merge happens, because if you notice, the immunity challenges are not leaning towards big, strong guys. They're very, if anything, they kind of lean towards women.
Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly. Yeah.
so she could do it.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. So far they have been, and I think the next one is a balancing one where you hold
Yeah.
something with a ball on it or something. So yeah,
Roll
it's
the
it's
ball
not
on a thing and
right. So you don't have to worry about physical strength. So you get rid of people like Tasha or Strong or people like Spencer or Wu. Those balance people that have good balance, not necessarily strength. But I agree with him about Tony. If he gets to the end, he could win. But it's not necessarily who he takes. But to get there, he needs to go back and repair that alliance. I don't think he gets there with Spencer, Jeremiah, and Tasha. If he and Wu flip, I don't think Spencer and Jeremiah and Tasha keep them around.
Yeah.
They
Well,
might
I'm gonna
keep
enjoy
Wu,
watching it.
but they won't keep Tony.
Right. I'm just going to keep enjoying watching this season, man. I
Yeah,
have
sure.
no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah, but you do know that your points just keep racking up because I'm down to like 2 people.
Yeah. It's nice. All right, our last feedback was a late subscriber, not subscriber, but a late
Submitter.
Yeah, submitter. Thank you. Her name is Joelle. I believe her name is Joelle. Joelle. Sounds right.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go, Joelle.
Hey, I just had a call to give you feedback on your parody song about LJ, Tony, and Jeremiah. That was excellent. That parody was so funny. It rivals parody songs that you would hear on Saturday Night Live. So, good job. Way to go. Thank you for the laugh.
Well, that's the best feedback of the night, David.
How nice.
Yeah, I saw you over there looking like,
I was resting my eyes.
no, you weren't. Thank you, Joelle. That was awesome. Wow, what a nice thing to say.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, so it is time for the CBS Express teaser. Ladies and gentlemen, what will episode 9 be all about?
Spy Shack, Tony Spy Shack. That's where
Go ahead, David.
Title for episode 9 is Sitting in My Spy Shack. Homesick castaways are granted a brief reprieve with letters from home. Meanwhile, what?
Do you think they'll all get reprieved?
No, because it doesn't say all. It just says homesick, which could be half, which could only be a few. So they could all get a snippet of that.
Yes.
They could get the sentence
Hey.
and say the full letters waiting for the reward.
Here it is. I'm going to read to you a short snippet from your thing. Dear David. That's all I'm reading.
Dear Dwaine, we miss. That's all you get. Continuing on. Meanwhile, one castaway secretly embarks on a stakeout to gather intel from the competition, and another castaway falls hard while attempting to collect coconuts from the treetops. Gee, I wonder who those 2 people could be.
Why not just tell us? You showed us.
Meanwhile, Tony builds Spy Shack 2.0, and Wu falls from the coconuts.
Yes. By the way, I think Wu turns over at the last minute and saves himself.
Whether he turns or not, he is not getting medevaced.
No.
I just don't see it happening because that would be more points for you, and I cannot have that.
He will be climbing a tree, though.
Yes, he will.
Hopefully.
An official tree.
Yes. Not a branch on the ground
Nope.
upon which someone steps. So.
Part
All
of
right.
the tree at the time it was stepped upon.
Yes. Before we get to the fun office pool stuff and my crazy theory and the rest of the show, it is time for the D&D Survivor Challenge results. I know many of you are waiting with bated breath. I got emails a couple weeks ago Well, y'all didn't do a feedback show, and I'm kicking my friend's butt in this Survivor Challenge, but I don't know what scores we got.
Now,
So-
I sent those today. I saw that as well.
Oh,
And
I already sent them all that. But,
Oh, you sent them out? Okay, good. Well, I apologize anyway. This for week 8. Here are your point totals, and then we'll go in detail as to which ones got which. Jeffrey got 2. Spencer got 8. That idol. Latasha got 5. Trish got 2. Woo got 3. LJ got 4 on his way out. Cass got 2. Tony got 9, keeping me in the game, and Jeremiah got 4, which for the week gave me a total of 16 points, and you got 23 points.
Oh,
So-
yeah. Remember all those weeks you were killing me? This is how it felt, buddy.
It's a long way to go. For the total of David has 182, Dwaine has 195. Moving on.
Hey, wait. If you're playing along at home
Yes.
in the Survivor Challenge and you're part of our Facebook group, we'd love to know what your score is.
Give us your totals. Tell us what's going on.
What are your scores? Talk some smack on the Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/Survivor.
Shayna did an awesome thing this week by catching on that there were 3 teams in the challenge,
Yes.
and she awarded. Now, was there a second place finishing team? Because I thought they stopped after the first place team did, or did she go by who was the farthest along?
I don't remember what was the challenge.
It ended with the beanbags being tossed off the trampoline into the baskets.
No, there was no second place.
Because she awarded 1 point to 3 players, and all of them were yours. No, one of them was mine.
I would say they do not get those points because they were not second place. This was not a first, second, and third place challenge.
You and I talking would agree. So if we'll talk to her tomorrow, and we may be adjusting that. But Tony, Jeremiah, and Spencer got 2 points each for their first place because it was a 3-team challenge. They did get 2 points each. Latasha got the winner of a challenge, which was not the first individual immunity challenge, but it was the individual immunity challenge. She got 3 points for that.
Right.
People going on the reward: Tony, Jeremiah, and Spencer. Of course, everybody got a point for starting the game. LJ got 3 points for making the jury. Tony got a blur. Woohoo! And then anyone to say blindside, which Tony said 4 times, but only get 1 point. Woo, Cash, Tasha, and Spencer each said blindside as well.
Wait. You get a point for every time you say blindside.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
So blur is the one that
Blur is
doesn't.
the one, yeah, because once you're blurred, you're probably going to keep getting blurred. But every time you say blindside, you get a point.
Oh, okay. Well, that's how she did it.
So you get some points.
Okay. I would think we'd have made that more uniform, but anyway, I got you.
No, remember, because once the front of you is getting blurred, you're probably going to get blurred every time you're on camera, and that's just not. I mean, that's not fair. But every time you say blindside, that's a different time that you said it.
Okay.
So you should get points for that.
And that's how she counted it. So.
Oh, okay. So
And
that's
then yeah, she did it right. And then Spencer gets 3 points for having the idol
all right.
still in his possession.
So you were doubting Shayna's counting.
Never. I know I was doubting how many that I was getting it mixed up with the blurs.
Mm-hmm.
And left in the game, David has. Let's see. Gone. Cass.
Mm-hmm.
Gone. Tony. Gone. Dwaine.
All you have left is Cass and Tony.
Dwaine has Woo. Gone. Spencer. Jeffra. Gone. Jeremiah. Gone. Latasha. And Trish.
Nice.
He's got a basketball team and a sub, and I've got a tag team
Yeah, reminds me of a basketball tournament I was in high school.
with 1 sub.
Everybody on my team got fouled out but me and one other guy, and I was the worst player and he was the best. It was so embarrassing. I mean, I was basically only in because other people were fouled out.
Yeah.
You know. So, anyway. And they probably wanted me to foul, and I didn't.
To end the game, to forfeit the game. Foul out, Dwaine, foul out.
It's like foul him, but you're not supposed to foul. No,
that wouldn't be fair.
All right, Fun Office Pools. How many men win the reward challenge?
Have you seen any pictures for this?
I didn't see any reward challenge pictures.
All I've heard about is the balanced one for the immunity challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to guess, since there's 8, that we're going to have 2 teams this time. Or it could be one person and then take reward people. So
Well,
I'm
keep
going
in mind that this reward challenge is going to be for letters from home, right?
Okay.
So I'm thinking it's a one. I'm gonna say it's a 2-team thing, and the team that wins gets the letters.
I think it's an individual reward, and whoever wins picks who gets the other letters.
All right. Well, we disagree.
But that's not the point of the question. How many men win the reward challenge? Now, if somebody wins and they give all the letters to everybody else, that's still the man that won the challenge.
Yeah, it's who
So it's
wins.
got nothing to do with the letters. I know.
So that's why it does make a difference if it's a single person reward.
Oh, versus a team. I see your point now. I'm going to say one.
I'm gonna say
Put
2.
your finger back under your armpit. I'm going to say one.
My finger's not in my arm. My finger is resting on this.
Well, it was in my
belly.
face just a second ago. I'm going to say one. What are you going to say?
I say 2.
Okay. How many different people get votes at tribal council?
Easy.
I'm just going to say 2.
I'm gonna say 2.
Okay. And points. Who are you putting points on this week? Who I put points on does not matter. So
I what am I in 17th place in this thing?
You're 47 spots ahead of me, so it doesn't matter.
I'm putting all 20 on Jeremiah.
Are you?
I have no idea why. I'm just doing it.
I've been putting my points on Jeremiah, and he has got me zilch.
You should change this week.
I am, and he's going to go home. He's going to go
20.
home.
That'll be awesome.
I'm going to split my points between Jeffra and Tasha,
Okay.
just to make you nervous.
Hey, did you see the picture I posted of Jeremiah and Morgan in the water?
Mm-mm. I don't think so.
Oh, dude, get on the internet right now.
Today?
Yeah.
Well, no, I haven't been on since I had left work, went to soccer practice, went to soccer meeting,
Yeah.
came home, did a podcast.
I wrote, and it's been favorited and retweeted on Twitter all over the place, probably because of the picture. But
Yeah,
I think I wrote I think everything I wrote in my fugue for LJ, Tony, and Jeremiah, everything I wrote for Jeremiah was dead on based on that picture. So my crazy theory was not a crazy theory. I don't really do those anymore. I now do song parodies whenever I feel like it. At least this season I am. And this season my song parody, because we launched on patreon.com, patreon.com/Survivor Talk, I thought I'd release my song parody early. That, and I couldn't wait to get it out. And it's a fugue for LJ, Tony, and Jeremiah based on the song I Got a Horse Right Here, His Name is Paul Revere, out of Guys and Dolls. It's already up on iTunes, and it's also on our website. On our secondary menu underneath the Survivor Talk logo, you'll see song parodies. You can click that and go listen to it. Do you want to hear the verse that I did for Jeremiah so you can know what I mean by it works with that picture?
I got the picture right here. Just came up. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I got the picture right here.
Yeah. David, hello, over here. David?
I'm sorry, what? Now, you're going to play it, though, right? You're going to read me the verse and then play it?
No. I'm just going to tell you what it said. He said, the point about this verse was Jeremiah is just going to vote for whomever, right?
Uh-huh.
So I'll vote for anyone. I'm just here having fun, though I wish Morgan was here tanning in the sun, right? That's the part everybody hears.
Yeah.
And then it goes, so hot, I might have a chance or not. Morgan is just so hot. Wait just a minute, boys. The shower makes some noise. Of course, he was in the shower and they were talking.
Yeah.
And I was just dreaming about me. I was just dreaming me and Morgan were Illinois, which I know it's pronounced Illinois, not Illinois, but it rhymed with noise.
Yeah.
Right. So he was dreaming about Morgan. Oh, I wish I was with Morgan. If I was only with Morgan. Isn't that great? I love it.
And it definitely works with the picture.
Yes, it does.
You
Oh,
don't-
my gosh.
You don't follow us on Twitter. It's @Survivor_Talk. And go check out this picture as you're listening to Jeremiah say what he feels about Morgan.
Yes, because that is one happy guy on that picture. I'm just saying. And she looks like she's having a good time, too.
Yeah.
This is a moment, probably one of the few times I've seen her actually smile genuinely out of pleasure during this season of Survivor.
Right.
So, anyway, there you go. my song parody. And, of course, at the end of the audio podcast, I am going to play Fugue Exposed, which will have everybody's verses so you can hear them a lot better, and then it will end with the actual song. So, all right. So follow us on Twitter, like David just said, and follow David at David_STWDD. Join the Facebook group. We have 325 members of our Facebook group. We're a family-friendly group. We're kind to one another. We have open, fun discussions.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a place to go and bash people and stuff like that. We won't tolerate that, so don't do that. And then also hit the website for blogs and past shows and to shop Amazon. And now Patreon. Not shopping it, but hitting it.
Yeah.
So anything else about this episode, David, before we shoot the breeze about some soccer stuff?
I think Will is dead on. Will the Giant Ninja.
Yes.
With his picking Final 9, Final 7, because Andy talks about that a lot too, Final 9, Final 7, and I think he's right. And why face off with LJ? Take it to him before he turns on you.
Right. Where does Will the Giant Ninja live?
Wherever Will the Giant Ninja wants to.
Will the Giant Ninja lives by the sea.
Oh, he lives in, was it Great Lakes, or what's this feedback say?
I don't remember.
Start his
From
feedback.
Wonderland or something.
Wonder Lake. Yeah, Wonder Lake.
Wonder Lake. Will the Giant Ninja lives by Wonder Lake. All right.
Yeah, he didn't want a parody. He just wanted you to listen to play his feedback.
Parodies are best left undone.
Yes.
All right, so y'all, if we're done talking about Survivor, if you want to skip ahead, if you're in iTunes, you can just hit the chapter marker, and it will take you to the end where I play the song. But I want to talk to David about some soccer stuff.
Okay.
Timothy is playing soccer.
Attaboy.
And he's keeper.
Just like Gracie.
No. Better.
Yeah.
It's his, third day. So what's going on? As you know, my boys go to a small private school, about 350 people in the school.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess it's not too small, but anyway. And they decided, them and another Christian school decided they were going to play soccer. Yeah. So it's literally they're training for a month to play 2 games in one afternoon against the same team.
Yeah.
That's their whole season, 2 games.
Basically, the school is so small, it says, all right, we're having soccer tryouts, and y'all keep coming out.
Yeah, Timothy can come. It's okay. Timothy, come on.
Anybody else need to come out? We need to make a team. Keep coming.
So anyway, so he's playing keeper. So for the next 3 weeks and a game on May 3rd, 2 games on May 3rd,
mm-hmm.
I have had to buy him 1 set of keeper gloves.
Yes.
Shin guards, socks, and that's all, because our neighbor is the best keeper in Alabama.
Yeah.
High school, right? And he had some really nice shoes that he let us borrow.
Very nice.
But anyway, Timothy's all excited. He wants to go practice soccer and everything. I was like, Timothy, when I was 15, I was on the champion team of 16 years and under.
For what? Your league? Soccer. Were you the only team in that league?
No, we were called the Strikers.
Yeah.
What it was this team had been playing together since they were 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I was that little 15-year-old that decided he wanted to play soccer.
You were playing as a 15-year-old with a bunch of 5-year-olds?
No, they started playing together when they were 5.
No wonder you were so good.
I wasn't good. They were 5. They started playing at 5, right? Oh, my gosh, has that been in my teeth the whole time? They started playing at 5, and now they're 15 years old still playing together. Very good team. They win every single year. And I got put on this team. So I was that kid that the coach had to put in because Mama called and said, look, I paid good money for my son to be playing soccer. You need to let him play some in the game.
And the other parent said, oh, we have a mascot this year.
Yeah. I was the one that they said, oh, don't worry, everybody scores at least once a year. No, not me. I didn't score.
You haven't seen my son play soccer.
Yeah. First game. First game, man. I mean, first game. I'm out there I'm on top of the world. I'm playing with this great team. Got a great looking uniform. It's back in the 80s, so my shorts are really high. So the breeze is just blowing on my legs and everything, feeling so great as I'm running. This guy's right in front of me. He kicks the ball right in my midsection, as hard as he could, and I was out the rest of the game. It was horrible, absolutely horrible. And my best friend at the time played on a different team, and whenever we played him, he schooled me and everything.
Yeah.
And what really irritated me, his name was Rich Strother. If you live in Tyler, he's a policeman and a fisherman. Anyway, and so one day I thought, okay, I know something I'm better than Rich at, right? Because he beats me in everything else, basketball, soccer, football, everything he plays, he just does really well.
What about ping pong?
Yeah, he beat me in ping pong.
Wow. I like to meet this guy.
He'd take me out fishing. He'd catch more fish. We go skiing. He'd stay up longer. I mean, he's just one of those guys that's Mr. Sport.
Yeah.
Right. So, and he was one of my best friends. So I thought I'm gonna take this guy out to the tennis court because I played tennis 2-3 times a week. Right. So I took him out to the tennis court. He never played tennis before in his life. The dude beats me. He picks up a tennis racket and just knows how to play.
He's just one of those people.
It's either that or I'm just really bad at sports, which might be the case.
It could be the case. Except ping pong. You are pretty good at ping pong.
I don't know if ping pong is really a sport except in Asia. I'm serious. I'm really serious. I really don't know. And I mean, in golf, I've never been any good at golf.
So the reoccurring theme here is you suck at sports. So, I mean...
Well, I don't do very well at sports, no.
See, that's all I did was grow up playing sports.
I can sing, and I can plan really well. I'm a good leader. I can sing, and I can sing.
Well, apparently a lot of people I know didn't know that I could sing because I saw them at the production this past 2 weekends. And I didn't know you could sing.
Really?
So
How do they not know that about you?
I don't know. I guess it's just people that don't go to my church. So I don't know. I hide it. I don't sing a lot. Well, I don't do parodies.
You don't go to fix a phone and go, I'm here to fix your phone, Mr. General.
I'm the phone guy, and they get all excited, then I fix their phone. So.
Get all excited, go tell everybody that David's fixing their phones.
See, that doesn't come up when I have things to say, like it does for you.
You know what I do at work all the time?
What?
People know I'm coming down the hall because I'm whistling. I whistle all the time.
Oh, okay. You know what else is fun? When you have a donkey in your production that you don't know what they're going to do every night you bring them down the aisle.
Yeah, I don't like having real animals.
And this was supposed to be a potty training donkey. And I don't know if you remember Don Lesh, and he was one of the people that walked it for Joseph and Mary and for Jesus.
Yeah.
And I'm backstage, and I'm in a position to help down these women coming from the top of the tomb. They're coming down, and I just give them a hand to help them down. And I'm not really on the stage. I'm backstage waiting for my point to come out. And all of a sudden, I get ready to step up to the steps to greet them. And here comes Don flying over these steps because you can't really walk through it because the steps are blocking the path. And he's flying over it and says, I need a towel, I need something. And I'm like, what? And he looks right at me and goes, Raisin just unloaded all over the stage.
Oh, man.
It's like a baptistry.
That's very realistic, though. See, that's putting realism into your production.
What was funny was that the other disciples looked at me and said, we need to go get some shoes. Because we're not walking out without shoes on.
Remember that David and I used to live in the same city, by the way, y'all. Did you remember that year whenever we did have animals? The 1 year I did have animals, or I was doing a production. And that sheep was backstage. He would not shut up the whole blasted production.
Did you ever do a production in the gym or just in the big main?
My first one was in the gym. First, maybe second one. I didn't like those very much.
I wonder if I was in that one.
I don't know. You were probably too good to be in my productions.
Yeah, probably.
You wanted to be in Mike's productions. I wasn't good enough. And you probably wanted to use a track instead of a real orchestra.
Whatever.
Hey, man.
In the gym, did they have orchestra in the gym?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did?
The first year we had an orchestra.
Remember, I didn't like you. No, I did like you. It was Terry didn't like you. Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah, whatever. All right, so anyway, Timothy's playing poker. He's playing soccer. He plays poker too, but playing soccer, and oh well. Anyway, all right, everybody. That's it for tonight. Unless you got something, David.
Nope, I'm good.
All right, we will see you Wednesday night, and we'll recap episode 9. Bye, everybody.
See ya.
So you've heard my parody, Fugue for LJ, Tony, and Jeremiah, but can't quite figure out what each person is actually singing. Well, that's what this audio file is for. Here on the first run-through of 3, you get to hear what LJ's singing. I got the vote right here, Spencer's name is clear, and Tony says there's no need to fear. I'll vote Spencer. Tony says to vote Spencer. If he says to vote Spencer, I'll vote Spencer. I'll vote Spencer. Tony says to vote Spencer. If he says to vote Spencer, I'll vote Spencer. Spencer's end in sight, Tony and I are tight. It's so nice to know that Tony's got my back tonight. I'm safe, I'm safe. Tony says that I am safe. If he says that I am safe, I'm safe, I'm safe. Spencer's name is clear, I got his vote right here. It's from my buddy Tony, who's real sincere. I'm safe, I'm safe. Tony says that I am safe. If he says that I am safe, I'm safe, I'm safe. Anyone? LJ Spencer, I got my vote right here. So there you had LJ's part. Now, let's listen to Tony's part. It'll start with LJ at the beginning, but as soon as Tony comes in, LJ will fade out. I got the vote right here, Spencer's name is clear, and Tony says there's no need to fear. I'll vote Spencer. Tony says to vote Spencer. If he says to vote Spencer, I'll vote Spencer. LJ will go in stride, cause he don't know I lied, but tonight he's going home in a big blindside. LJ, he's too much like me. LJ, it's time to make my move. LJ. I know I'm playing fast and I'm having a blast. Maybe in the future I will be recast. Tonight, LJ has to go tonight. LJ's going home tonight. LJ will go in stride, cause he don't know I lied, but tonight he's going home in a big blindside. LJ, he's too much like me. LJ. Anyone? LJ Spencer, I got my vote right here. All right, and lastly, Jeremiah. You will find he has quite a fixation upon Morgan. I got the vote right here, Spencer's name is clear, and Tony says there's no need to fear. I'll vote Spencer. Tony says to vote Spencer. If he says to vote Spencer, I'll vote Spencer. LJ will go in stride, cause he don't know I lied, but tonight he's going home in a bit blindside. I'll vote for anyone, I'm just here having fun. Though I wish Morgan was here tanning in the sun. So hot, I might have a chance or not. Morgan is just so hot, so hot, so hot. Wait just a minute, boys, the shower makes some noise, and I was dreaming me and Morgan were in Illinois. Morgan, oh, I wish I was with Morgan. If I was only with Morgan. I'll vote for anyone, I'm just here having fun. Though I wish Morgan was here tanning in the sun. Anyone? LJ Spencer, I got my vote right here.
All right, so now that you've heard them all, I will play it one last time in the way it was originally recorded. Thanks for listening.
I got the vote right here, Spencer's name is clear, and Tony says there's no need to fear. I'll vote Spencer. Tony says to vote Spencer. If he says to vote Spencer, I'll vote Spencer. LJ will go in strike, cause he don't know I lied. But tonight he's going home in a big blindside. I'll vote for anyone, I'm just here having fun. Oh, I wish Morgan was here tanning in the sun. Spencer's in sight, Tony and I are tight. It's so nice to know that Tony's got my back tonight. I know I'm playing fast and I'm having a blast. Maybe in the future I will be recast. Wait just a minute, boys, the shower makes some noise, and I was dreaming me and Morgan were in Illinois. Spencer's name is clear, I got his vote right here. It's from my buddy Tony, who's real sincere. I'm so in stride, cause I don't know I lied. But tonight he's going home in a big blindside. I'll vote for anyone, I'm just here having fun. Oh, I wish Morgan was here tanning in the sun. Anyone? LJ Spencer, I got my vote right here.
Thank you so much for listening to my parodies this season. We would love for you to shop Amazon using our link, survivortalkwithdnd.com/Amazon. Also, if you'd like to become a patron of Survivor Talk with D&D, go to www.patreon.com/SurvivorTalk. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.